Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an AWS EC2 backup plan using AWS Backup through the AWS Management Console. So we're going to take a couple of steps to see how we can guide you through the process of setting up your first AWS backup plan. This will walk you through creating AWS backup for your EC2, but the process is similar to other AWS resources like the RDS, EFS, DynamoDB, and more. But in this case, we're going to be creating an EC2 backup plan in the AWS console. So I am logged into AWS console. The first thing to do after we log into the console is to search for AWS Backup, which is the tool we are going to use. So here we're going to search for AWS Backup. This is AWS Backup, and you click on it. So when the AWS Backup console opens up, as you can see here, this is the AWS Backup console. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on Create a Backup Plan. Then after we create that, we're going to create, we have a couple of options here. We can either build a backup plan. We can either start with a template or build a new plan or define a plan using JSON. We're going to say start with a new template. Okay. So we're going to click on that. It's already selected, and we can click here to choose our template. When we click on when we click here for our template, we can choose our retention: daily, 35-day retention, daily, monthly, 1-year retention, daily, weekly, monthly, 5-year retention, or daily, weekly, 7-year retention. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to say daily 35-day retention. Then you want to give your backup plan a name. Okay, so here I'm going to say something like UTA EC2 backup plan. So I'm going to give it this name, UTA EC2 backup plan. We can give it a tag. We can give it tag that is optional. We're gonna leave that. So under we're gonna go down here, backup plan rule. So backup plan rule, we're gonna choose a name for the backup rule. Example, daily backups. This is chosen by default. So backup rule specify the backup schedule, backup window, and lifestyle rule. So I'm going to say daily backup. That is chosen by default. So go down here, advanced backup settings, application consistent backup. We can leave this for now, and after we choose the backup rules and the backup plan name and the frequency, we can just go ahead and click on create plan. Click on create plan. So backup plan EC2 UTA EC2 backup plan creation successful. You can now add additional schedule rules and assign resources to backup plan by selecting the backup plan. So we have created the backup plan. The next thing is that we're going to assign resources to our backup. So to assign resources to your backup plan, we have to click on assign resources after we finish filling this information. Resource assignment name. So the resource assignment name is case sensitive. It must be between 1 to 50 characters. Again, you can choose any name you want, and I'm going to assign resources to your backup plan. We'll give it a name. I can still give it the same name and see IAM role. AWS backup will assume this IAM role when creating and managing recovery points on your behalf. Default role. If the AWS backup default role is not present, one will be created for you with the correct permissions. I will say default role, or if you have an IAM role, you can select it here. Let's leave it as default. Then resource selection, assign resources to this backup plan using tags and resource IDs. Okay, so define resource selection, include all resource types, include specific resource type. Okay, protect all resource types that are enabled in your account. I will leave this as it is. Refine selection using tags. This is optional. I will leave it like this, and I'm going to say assign resources. Continue resource assignment. Selecting all resource type protects all resources that are enabled in your account to this backup plan. Your current selection could back up any resources and may have cost implications. If you don't want to back up all resources, let's click on cancel and include all resource types. You can say include specific resource type here. That way we will select a particular resource that we want to back up, and in this case we are backing up only EC2. The danger in selecting all resources here is that it will back up everything you have, to back up your database tables, database like DynamoDB, Aurora database, it will back up your web servers, it will back up your S3 bucket, it backs up everything, and that will incur huge costs. So because of this tutorial, we're only backing up a specific resource, which in this case is EC2. So we're going to go down here and select EC2. Okay. Then if you want to exclude specific resource IDs from the selected type, you can choose it here. We don't want to exclude anything. We've only selected that the backup type is EC2 here. So go ahead and click on assign resources. Your current resource selection could back up many resources and may have cost implications. Let's see. This is the resource type. Then here we have instance IDs. What instances are we backing up? All instances. Yes, back up all instances. All instances should be backed up. Okay, exclude specific resources. Nope. Assign. Say current selection could back up many resources and may have cost implications. Continue. So we have assigned resources. The next thing for us to do is to review this. Okay, resource assignment. Resource assignment specifies which resources will be backed up by this plan. Okay, this is the plan name. This is the IAM role that is attached to it, and this is AWS Backup's default service role. The creation time is today, February 4th, 2025. And backup jobs. Okay, there's no jobs to display today. Backup plan tags is optional. Advanced backup settings is disabled. And that is it. So let's take a look at the next thing to do. So the next thing we're going to do now is to do some configurations and editing. Under our backup rules, we're going to select we selected daily backups. So we're going to select the daily backups here and click on edit. So in here, we have the backup rule name is daily backups. We have the backup vault. This is where we decide what vault to back it up at, which container do we want to store our backup. In that case, that will be the backup vault, which is the default one. Okay. Then the backup frequency. How often do we want this backup to happen? We've selected daily. It can be weekly, it can be monthly, or it can even be a custom expression like every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes. You can specify that here using the cron expression. Let's say you click on that, then you can use your cron here to specify that the frequency. Okay, but for now we're not going to use the custom cron. I'm going to say daily. Then the backup window. When do you want this backup to start? I want this backup to start at exactly midnight, or here they have 30 minutes past midnight. Okay, I can leave it at that. Start within. Specify the period of time in which the backup plan starts if it doesn't start at the specified time. I would say, within 8 hours, within 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever time you want. I can say start within 3 hours. Then complete within. How long do you want this job to be completed? See, defines the period of time during which your backup must complete. If the data transfer for backup resources does not complete during this time, AWS backup will display the status expired. Otherwise, the data transfer portion of your backup job completed successfully. However, particularly large backups, the rest of the backup process might take up to several days to complete and display the status completed. So I can say leave it to be completed within 7 days. Then point-in-time recovery. Enable continuous backup for point-in-time recovery. With continuous backup, you can restore your AWS backup supported resource by rewinding it back to a specific time that you choose within 1 second of precision, going back to a maximum of 35 days. Available for Aurora, RDS, and SAP HANA on Amazon EC2 resources. So if I click on this, then I am going to define the point in time. Okay, if I unselect that, okay, what happens? Click on that. So we enable continuous backup for point in time. Then we have cold storage, move backup from one to cold storage. We'll leave it at that. Total retention period. Tell AWS backup how long to store your backup. Is it 5 days? Or is it how many days? I can leave this backup for five days. But in the real work environment, some backups may be left for 15 days, depending I've seen some backups in our environment that will live for 30 days. But for this example, we're going to leave it at 3 days. That's the retention period. That means after 3 days, AWS will delete the backup that was backed up today. So the one backed up today will be deleted on the 7th, the one backed up tomorrow will be deleted on the 8th, and so on and so forth. The reason why we have to do this is to avoid so much storage costs. Okay, backup indexes. This is optional. Create a backup index to selected resources types. Each index has a creation and storage cost. Let's say we want to create this index and want to also store it in our S3 bucket. That will incur cost, and we'll leave that. Copy to destination. We can create a copy of backup in a separate backup vault or logically air-gapped vault. So we can choose a different region where we can back this resource up. I don't want to create any region again, but in the real work environment, you want to create a region. You want to choose a region that this backup will be replicated into for high availability and disaster recovery. Okay, tags to recovery point. This is optional, and we'll leave everything as it is and click on save. So that is how to create AWS backup using AWS backup tool to back up our instances or our EC2. So that is how to create AWS backup using AWS backup tool, which we have in AWS Management Console. So if we go to AWS backup here and we take a look at our dashboard, or take a look at your backup plans, you can click on your backup plans here. You will see the backup plan. You can take a look at the dashboard. Take a look at the jobs dashboard. Right now, there are no backups. No backup has happened. You can see 0 completed. Completed with issues. Failed is 0. Expired is 0 because we just set up this backup. If you click on restore, nothing has been done. And we are looking at what happened in the last 14 days. You can check what happens in the last 4 days if you want. So because this is a new backup we have set, the backup has not run. Maybe when we come back next time, maybe tomorrow, and we go here, we'll see the jobs that has been backed up. That is, if we have any EC2 in this account. Okay. Then backup vault, we use the default backup vault. We didn't have to create a new our own vault. Backup plans. This is our backup plan here. Protected resources. Because we don't have to create on-demand backup, so this one is not applicable. Jobs, no jobs has run yet. Nothing to search. If we have history of some jobs that has been backed up, then we can take a look at this. Oops. Restore testing. Nothing here yet. And the legal holds, nothing to show here. So basically, this is a new backup plan we have created. In the next video, we're going to do more things in AWS. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.